Yes, children, moving on further with the rest of the questions from your exemplar book. Question number 19. In question number 19, it is asked to write a balanced chemical equation for the following reactions. Okay, and you also have to identify the type of reaction. So you have to balance the equation. Okay, after writing the reaction, you also have to find the type of reaction. Fine. So let us do these questions one by one. Nitrogen gas. Nitrogen gas is a diatomic molecule. Okay, nitrogen is diatomic. We write it as N2. It is treated with hydrogen gas. So we will write H2. Okay. You can write the state of matter also, like you write in bracket G, and after H2 also you can write the in which state of matter it is present. You mention it as gaseous state. Okay. In the presence of catalyst, so over the arrow you have to write here catalyst. Okay, write catalyst, and at 773 Kelvin mention the temperature also. Okay, to form ammonia gas, so how we write ammonia? Ammonia is written as NH3. Now once you have done this, you have to balance the equation. In the reactant, you see nitrogen atoms are 2 in number, so we need to make here also in the product nitrogen atom should be 2, so I wrote 2, and hydrogen is 2 here, whereas in the product now it has become 6. Okay, in 2NH3 number of atoms of hydrogen is 6. So in reactant also you need to make the number same. So by which number you have to multiply 2 so that you get 6? It will be 3. So right, you will be writing 3 over here. Okay, now the next part of the question is you have to find the type of reaction. So as you see here that nitrogen and hydrogen, they both are combining together and giving one product, that is NH3, right? So it is what type of reaction? It's a combination reaction. So type of reaction is combination reaction. Okay, both the reactants are combining together to give you a product, that is ammonia. Fine. Now moving on to the next question. It is given sodium hydroxide solution. So sodium hydroxide molecular formula is sodium is Na, right? Hydroxide is OH, so NaOH. Fine. Now this is treated with acetic acid. Acetic acid is our ethanoic acid, so we have to write it as CH3COOH. Now this is acetic acid. Fine. To form sodium acetate. Okay, sodium acetate. So see children, sodium hydroxide, it's a base, it has OH minus ion, so it will disintegrate from here. This is an acid, right? CH3COOH, this thing is an acid, so it will give us H plus ion, right? So it is going to break from here. So now this is how it is going to combine. OH will go along with the H, whereas this CH3COO is going to go along with Na. Fine. So it will form sodium acetate. How we will be writing sodium acetate? CH3COO Okay, so this whole part CH3COO going along with Na, and what else will be released? Water. Okay, H2O. So this H and along with the OH will form water molecule. Now after you write this, you have to balance the equation, and if you see, it is already balanced. You can check sodium atom in reactant, it is 1, in the product also it is the same. CH3CO, there is no change. Okay, in the number of atoms it is remaining same. Fine. So this equation is already balanced once you write the reaction. Fine. Now coming to type of reaction, which type of reaction it is? As you see here, there is a displacement taking place, right? OH moving to H forming water, and CH3CO is going along with Na, right? So there is a displacement and it is taking place in both, right? In both the reactants there is a displacement taking place, so we call it as a double displacement reaction. One more thing, NaOH is a base, whereas CH3COH is an acid, right? So sodium hydroxide, which is a base, and acetic acid, which is an acid, they both are going to react to form a salt, right? And as it forms a salt, so we can call that type of reaction as neutralization reaction, because acid and base react to form a salt. Okay, so here what is taking place? Neutralization is taking place. In the acid, base is being added and it forms lead to neutralization. So what you have to mention, you have to write double displacement reaction, you can also write neutralization reaction or write both. Okay, now coming to the next one, ethanol is warmed. So let us write first ethanol. Ethanol is an alcohol, so it will have alcoholic group. Okay, 2 carbon atoms will come, so it will be C2H5. okay, this is ethyl alcohol. Ethanol is our ethyl alcohol, so C2H5OH with ethanoic acid. Ethanoic is CH3COOH. okay, ethanoic acid, ethanol with ethanoic acid to form ethyl acetate. So ethyl acetate will be CH3COOC2H5. okay, along with that, what is formed? Ethyl acetate in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So over the arrow, what will come here is concentrated sulfuric acid. Fine. I'll just rewrite again for you all. See, it is ethanol, so it is C2H5. okay, OH is ethanol with ethanoic acid. Okay, so ethanoic acid is CH3COOH. Now it will form ethyl acetate in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So over the arrow, you mention first concentrated H2SO4. Sulfuric acid is H2SO4. okay, to form ethyl acetate. So here also what will happen is this, it will lead to double displacement is taking place. Okay, from here this is breaking, here H plus will be removed and it will form C. Okay, here you need to remember one thing, C2H5 will not come first, here esterification is taking place, right? So it will form CH3, okay, CH3COO. With this part COO, C2H5 get attached. Okay, C2H5. So esterification is taking place, ethyl acetate is formed. Fine. So what is formed is ethyl acetate, and then this H plus and OH minus forms water. So molecule of water is formed. Okay, so remember, with an acid, when alcohol react, it give you an ester, that is in this case it is ethyl acetate. And as you see, displacement is also taking place in both the reactants, so it is an example of double displacement reaction. Also it is an example of esterification reaction. Moving on to the next question, that is ethanol is warmed. Okay, this is done. Moving on to the next, that is the last one, ethene. Ethene is C2H4. okay, this is CH2 double ethene, no? CH2 double bond CH2. Okay, so just a second, I will C2H4, okay, plus 3 molecules of oxygen in the presence of oxygen. So means it is burning, it's a combustion reaction. This thing is clear, type of reaction will be combustion. Okay, we'll see what else happens. It is forming carbon dioxide and water. Means with carbon, what is coming? Oxygen. So as you see, oxygen has been added to carbon, so it is a kind of oxidation reaction. Okay, also there is a loss of hydrogen molecule. Okay, from here this hydrogen is being lost, so there is a reduction also taking place to give you water. Fine. So you can call this as a redox reaction as well, because you see oxidation and reduction both is happening, and heat and light is produced. So after this you have to mention heat and light. Okay, heat is produced, light is produced, that also you need to mention. So because the heat is being produced, it is a kind of exothermic reaction. Fine. So what all things you can write? Because carbon is added with oxygen and there is a loss of hydrogen also, so it is a oxidation reaction, oxidation reduction reaction, or you can call it as redox reaction. Fine. It is also combustion reaction because it is burning in the presence of oxygen. Fine. And heat is released, so it is an example of exothermic reaction. Then coming to the next thing, that is balancing the equation. I already wrote it in the form of balanced equation. If you see, one by one you have to do it, and here 2 will come, okay, with 3 oxygen. So you can just check oxygen this side. In the reactant it is 6 number of atoms are there. Here it becomes 2 to the 4, 5. Okay, still 1 is less, so what we'll do here, we need to put 2. Okay, so now it is 2, here it is 2 to the 4, and here number of atom is 2. Okay, so now it is a balanced. Fine, this equation is balanced. You can write the atom separately. If you are not able to do it directly, write it and do it. You have to check one by one, okay, in the reactant and products, and try to balance the number of atoms. Okay, now moving on to the next question. In the next question, it is asked to write the balanced equation. Also you have to find the type of reaction happening. Okay, so in Thermate reaction, now what is this Thermate reaction? The reaction which is mentioned here itself is called as the Thermate reaction. Okay, Thermate reaction, that is iron 3 oxide is reacting with the aluminium, and it gives molten iron and aluminium oxide. Okay, let us write the equation. Iron 3 oxide is Fe2O3. Fe2O3. Now this is reacting with aluminium to give molten iron. Molten iron means here iron is being formed, fine, and aluminium oxide is formed. Aluminium oxide is Al2O3. Okay, and in this process heat is also being released. In Thermate reaction, heat is being produced. So I just made it as a triangle. You can write it heat. Okay, write heat over here. So Fe2O3 is reacting with aluminium in the heat is when it is heated, it will, just a second, no need of writing it, this thing here. Okay, so I'll just write it over here, okay, so that you don't get confused. Fe2O3 with aluminium is when the heat is being supplied, it produces it produces iron and aluminium oxide, and heat is released. Fine. So now try to check out what type of reaction it is. So if you see here, Fe2O3, when it is reacting with aluminium, okay, Fe is there and aluminium is going along with O3, right? So it means what, that aluminium is actually displacing this iron, right? So because aluminium is displacing iron and taking its place, it is forming aluminium oxide. So we can call this as a displacement reaction. It is not double displacement reaction, because it is not happening with both the reactant. It is just one reactant displacing the other one. Okay, and this iron is now formed in the molten state. Okay, so another thing, aluminium is with oxygen. Now here aluminium is added with oxygen, so you can call this as a oxidation reaction taking place. Also there is, okay, oxidation is taking place. This is what you can see. Fine. So anyways, this is an example of what type of reaction. It is an example of displacement reaction, that you remember. Okay, moving on to the next one. Magnesium ribbon is burned in an atmosphere of nitrogen gas. Okay, so in this question, magnesium ribbon, so we'll just write Mg. It is reacting, or it is burning in an environment where there is nitrogen gas. Okay, so you have to mention nitrogen gas, and it is burning means heat is being supplied, right? So I'm just making a triangle, or you can write heat, to form solid magnesium nitride. So magnesium nitride is Mg, and if you write nitrogen valency is 3, so this will come here, and magnesium valency is 2, so 2 we will write next to nitrogen. Okay, so Mg3 and 2 is magnesium nitride. Now try to balance the equation. In the reactant, magnesium is just 1 in number of atom of magnesium is 1. In product it is 3, so we need to make, in reactant also we need to make it 3. Then nitrogen, if you see, it is its number is 2. There are 2 atoms of nitrogen in reactant. In product also 2, so no need to do any changes. So this is our balanced equation. Now coming to type of reaction. What type of reaction it is? As you see, magnesium and nitrogen, they both are combining to give you a product, that is magnesium nitride. So it is an example of combination reaction because they both are combining together. Okay, so it's an example of combination reaction. Okay, so this is what you have to write. Now the next question. In the next question it is given chlorine gas is passed in an aqueous potassium iodide. Okay, so potassium iodide is Ki. On this, what is being passed? Chlorine gas. Okay, and what it gives? To form a potassium chloride, and it will give you KCl. Potassium chloride is KCl and solid iodine. Okay, so potassium iodide, when on the aqueous solution of potassium iodide chlorine gas is passed, what is formed? Potassium iodide is in the aqueous form. Okay, when the chlorine gas is passed over it, so what is happening? Chlorine is actually displacing, means chlorine is displacing this iodine and taking its place. Okay, and it gives you KCl. Iodine is removed. Fine, so we can call this as a displacement reaction. Okay, next thing, you have to balance the equation. Just see here, if you see, chlorine is 2 in number, 2 atoms of chlorine are there in our reactant. Okay, so in this is in the reactant it is 2 in number, so in product also we need to make it 2. Now potassium has also become 2, so we need to add 2 over here, right? So now you can just check it. Iodine, okay, one thing I have not mentioned, when iodine is in the gaseous state, when it is being displaced, when it is formed, it has to be in the diatomic state. Okay, so it will be I2. Fine, so iodine, remember, it's a diatomic, it will exist in the diatomic state, so it will be two atoms of iodine will be there. So I2 is the molecular formula for iodine when it is in gaseous state. Okay, and moving on to the next question, that is D. Okay, in this question ethanol is there and it is burnt in air. Fine, so let us write ethanol first, that is C2H5OH. Okay, so this is ethanol, it is burned in air, means in the presence of oxygen. Fine, and you can write it is burned, so you can put this, that it is burning in presence of oxygen. What it gives? It is giving you carbon dioxide, so you will write CO2, and you will have to write water. Okay, water, that is H2O. Also heat is being produced, so write heat also. Okay, so now after writing this, you have to balance the equation. So as you balance the equation, you see number of carbon is 2 in reactant, whereas in product it is just 1, so we need to add 2 over here. Now let us check for hydrogen. It is 5 plus 1, 6 atoms are there of hydrogen in reactant, whereas in product it is only 2 atoms of hydrogen. So to make it 6, we need to add 3 over here in the reactant. Fine, then moving on to the next one, that is oxygen. So oxygen, if we see, it is 2 plus 1, 3 atoms of oxygen are there in our reactant, whereas in product it is 2 to the 4 and 5, 6, 7, like this we are getting. Okay, so what you have to do is, if you add 3 over here, now it becomes 3 to the 6 plus 1, 7. And okay, in the product, in the reactant also now it is 7, and in product also it is in product also now it is 3 to the 6, okay, 2 to the 4 and plus 3, that is 7. Okay, so now it is completely balanced. Fine, so what type of reaction it is? So as you see, carbon is added with the oxygen, also there is removal of hydrogen. Okay, so that the water is formed, so it is, we can say this is oxidation reduction reaction, we can call this as a redox reaction. Also it's a combustion reaction because alcohol, ethanol is burning in presence of oxygen. Next thing, it is an exothermic reaction because heat is also being produced during the reaction. Okay, so redox reaction, combustion reaction, and exothermic type of reaction it is. Now let's move to the next question, where it is asked to complete the missing component or the variables given as x and y in the following reaction. Fine, so whatever is in the form of x and y, and even if you have to balance, you have to check whether it is balanced or not, so that you have to write. and x and y is what the state, okay, in which state of matter, whether it will be solid, liquid or gas, that you have to mention in the bracket. Okay, so let's do this question. PbNO3 twice, okay, it is in aqueous state, and another reactant, that is potassium iodide, this is also in aqueous state. So it is forming lead iodide, right? So Pb is a symbol for lead, okay. So PbI2, in which state of matter it is going to exist? So it will be in the state of solid, okay. It is getting precipitated, actually a precipitate is formed of lead iodide, so it is solid, okay. Here X is solid, and KNO3 and the potassium nitrate, this will be in the liquid state, or you can write it as aqueous, okay, AQ, fine. So lead iodide as a precipitate is being formed in the aqueous potassium nitrate, okay. Moving on to the next one, copper metal is there, okay, copper in the solid state and silver nitrate is there, AgNO3 in the aqueous state. What is happening? Copper is displacing silver, so it is forming copper nitrate, CuNO3 twice, and what S will be formed? What is this X? X will be what? It will be Ag, okay, this will be silver because copper has displaced silver. So what will be formed here in place of X? It will be silver that is formed, okay. Next thing, you have to find what is this, what will be the state of matter. It will be solid, it is already given, okay, and all the state of matter is mentioned, fine. So this is what we were supposed to find. So this X is actually silver. Let's move to the next question. Zinc, okay, in the solid state is reacting with sulfuric acid, forms zinc sulfate, okay. So zinc is actually here displacing hydrogen, and the hydrogen is released. So hydrogen which is released here will be in which state of matter? It will be in the gaseous state, okay, it will be in gaseous state. And what else is given? Zinc sulfate, okay, zinc sulfate is formed in the aqueous state, okay. So hydrogen bubbles are formed, or like hydrogen gas is being produced, zinc is displacing hydrogen, fine. Now moving on to the next one, that is calcium carbonate is giving calcium oxide and CO2. When it will give calcium oxide? When it is heated, when heat is applied. Oh, so we were on question number 21, okay. So this X is what here? This is what you have to write in place of X. This X is nothing but heat, okay. When you heat it, calcium oxide is formed along with carbon dioxide, okay, carbon dioxide gas is being produced, okay. So let us do the next set of questions, that is question number 22. Here it is given, which among the following changes are exothermic or endothermic, okay. So first one, decomposition of ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate will get decomposed by absorbing heat, fine. So it is an example of endothermic reaction, okay. It will absorb heat, so it is endothermic. It will absorb heat and will get decomposed. Dilution of sulfuric acid, when you are diluting sulfuric acid, it will evolve heat, it will give out heat, okay. So it is an example of exothermic reaction. Dissolution of sodium hydroxide in water, when you are dissolving sodium hydroxide in water, again it is going to be an exothermic, it will evolve heat, okay. And the next one, dissolution of ammonium chloride in water. On putting ammonium chloride in water, heat will be absorbed, okay. It is an example of endothermic, okay. So these are the answers. Now let us do the next set of questions. Okay, question number 23. In this, identify the reducing agent in the following reaction. So reducing agent are the one that undergo oxidation, okay. So let us see what is undergoing oxidation, and that will become our reducing agent. So you have to find out only the reducing agent, okay. So in the first equation, you see in the first reaction it is ammonia, okay. Ammonia, you see, it is added with oxygen, so ammonia is getting oxidized, fine, because it is ammonia is getting oxidized to NO, okay, and it reduces oxygen to water, okay. Here only oxygen is there, it is being reduced to water. So because ammonia is getting oxidized, it is our reducing agent. So what is our reducing agent? NH3 is our reducing agent in this reaction. Similarly, in the next one, what you see here, it is the water. Okay, water is acting as a oxidizing agent. See, HOF with fluorine. Now see, it is forming HF with HOF. So water acts as a reducing agent because it reduces the fluorine, because here water molecule is giving no, it is actually water which is reducing our fluorine. Fluorine is added with hydrogen. Okay, so there is a loss of hydrogen from water. Okay, so what we see here is, what is our reducing agent? I'll just write it. H2O is our reducing agent. Now in the next one, Fe2O3 is reacting with carbon monoxide. Okay, in this case what you see here is iron is formed and carbon dioxide is formed, right? And it is the carbon monoxide, okay, which is what it is doing, it is getting reduced, it is getting oxidized. Okay, it is CO is getting oxidized, it is forming CO2. There is addition of oxygen, you see here. Okay, so as you see, one second, again I'll tell you, in 3CO you see here that there is an addition of oxygen, whereas from Fe2O3 oxygen is being lost, so it becomes 3CO2. Okay, there is addition of oxygen, so 3CO is getting oxidized. So what is happening here? Carbon monoxide will act as a reducing agent. Okay, because it is reducing iron. Fe2O3 iron oxide is being reduced by this. Okay, it remains as iron. There is loss of oxygen from the iron oxide. Okay, now moving on to the next question. Here it is given that 2H2 is reacting with oxygen. So what is happening? Which one will act as a reducing agent? The one that is getting oxidized. There is addition of oxygen. So in which one there is addition of oxygen? You see in, just a second, in hydrogen you see there is addition of oxygen. So hydrogen will act as a reducing agent. Okay, so once again let me explain you that in the first one it is the ammonia. Okay, it is ammonia which is added with oxygen, so this becomes a reducing agent. In the next one it is the water which is acting as a reducing agent. Reason is, see, fluorine is not added with oxygen, so we will not take this one. Okay, don't think about that fluorine, because anyways fluorine is not getting oxidized. Okay, it is the water which is actually reducing the fluorine. Fine, so because it is reducing the fluorine forming HF, it is acting as a reducing agent. Fine, next one, in next one you see that it is carbon monoxide, it is added with oxygen, so it is carbon monoxide which is acting as a reducing agent. Okay, and Fe2O3 is becoming Fe. Okay, it is reducing, actually it reduces this. If you are getting very much confused with no, reducing agent and oxidizing agent, where it is oxygen is being lost or it is taken, you just take one thing and just decide, like let's say whether the oxygen is added or not. If the oxygen is being added, means it is oxidation taking place, and that particular molecule is acting as a reducing agent because the other molecule is being reduced. Okay, fine, moving on to this. In this one you see hydrogen is added with oxygen, so obviously it is the H2 which will act as a reducing agent. Okay, fine. Now let us do the next question, that is 24, question number 24. In this you have to identify the oxidizing agent. Now to find out whether it is an oxidizing agent or not, you have to see if hydrogen is being added and oxygen is lost. Okay, if hydrogen, let us see. Okay, so in the previous one it was the reducing agent, here you have to find the oxidizing agent. So in the first equation you see that it is the Pb3O4. Okay, Pb3O4, what it is becoming, it is forming PbCl2. Okay, means what, it is oxidizing HCl to Cl2. Okay, Pb3O4, if you see, it is forming Pb3 PbCl2, and here it is oxidizing. It oxidizes. There is a loss of hydrogen, okay, and it is forming, okay, HCl has been oxidized by this Pb3O4 and it is forming chlorine, okay. So what is acting as an oxidizing agent? It is Pb3O4 which is acting as an oxidizing agent. In the next question, magnesium is reacting with oxygen. So oxygen is acting as an oxidizing agent because it is adding oxygen to it, okay, and it's forming magnesium oxide. In the next question, zinc, if you see, zinc is getting oxidized, okay. Copper sulfate is acting as an oxidizing agent. What is happening? Zinc is displacing copper, it forms ZnSO4. In the process, copper is formed, right? So what is happening? This copper sulfate is actually oxidizing the zinc to form ZnSO4, okay. So it is the copper sulfate which will act as a oxidizing agent. In this one, V2O5 reacting with 5 calcium. Here again V2O5 is the one that will act as a oxidizing agent, okay, as it oxidizes this calcium to calcium oxide. In the next one, iron is reacting with water. So here it is the water molecule which is going to oxidize iron, okay, to iron oxide, okay. In the next one, copper. So what is our oxidizing agent here? Water molecule, fine. In the last one, it is copper oxide, okay, which will act as our oxidizing agent. It will oxidize hydrogen to water. Hydrogen is made to water, okay, and copper oxide is our oxidizing agent, fine. So I think next set of questions we'll do in the next session, okay. We'll stop here and we'll see rest of the question in our next video, okay. Thank you till then. Bye bye.